next step changes everything. Stop right now, my child, and take a deep breath for this one holy moment that I have set aside just for you. Do not skip this. Don't let your thoughts take your attention away. This moment was brought to you by me, and I want you to stay still because heaven is leaning toward you with something that will change the way you breathe next. You might think this is nothing special, but I promise you, beloved, this moment is important. This time has been picked. You can't see the weight of this moment yet, but you will feel it in the days to come. So pay close attention. Put all of your weight on it. My voice is here, hovering over you, surrounding you, and reaching deep inside you in ways you haven't let anyone else get to in a long time. I'm moving into your space right now because you're about to make a change that could make your whole story different. Also, I need to talk to you about something right away, before you move, before you let your mind wander down the path you think makes sense. What are you waiting for? You've been walking around with a lot of questions in your head, doubts in the background of your thoughts, and fears growing around the choices you make. You've been carrying things that you told yourself you could handle on your own. You've been making choices while being tired, hurt, or not fully healed. Because I know you're about to do something that will change everything, I need to talk to you first. You don't fully understand how important this moment is to me, but you don't. I can see what you should do next. I can see what lays ahead after you make your choice. I see the blessings that are ready, the battles that you don't see, the dangers that are slowly taking shape, and the breakthroughs that are ready to happen. I can see the seeds you planted in tears finally starting to grow below the ground. I can see the links, the chances, the doors, the endings, the starts, and the turning points. I can see things you can't. I could not let you go on because I could see everything, so I had to speak up. I love you too much to let you walk around without seeing when heaven is trying to show you the way. You've been feeling a shift inside you, my beloved. That quiet pulling that makes you feel uneasy, that restlessness that won't go away, that sudden sensitivity in your spirit. The weight that weighed on you when there was silence, and the random waves of emotion that made you stop and think about what was going on. That was me. I've been stirring your spirit to make you aware that something is coming. I've been calling your attention to the fact that you are living in an important moment that you can't ignore. I've been whispering to your heart to get closer to you. I was trying to get you ready, but you weren't ready to fully understand what I was saying yet. But now the time has come. Your heart is now open enough. Your spirit is now ready. Now that you're getting close to the turning point, I have to stop you. There's no chance in this, do you? You didn't just happen to find this word. You didn't just happen to be here. You were shown the way, pulled, led, or colored. I put this message in front of you right when your heart became open enough to hear me. Everything that tried to pull you away earlier, everything that kept you from this moment, and everything that pushed you back, it was all my work to make sure you wouldn't miss this divinely important one-minute meeting. You might be confused about why I speak so heavily, why I come across so strongly, and why I want you to stop everything for this one sentence. It's because the next thing you do is more important than you think. The step you're thinking about taking, the choice that's on your mind, I think the way you are moving will affect your future in ways you don't know. Things will either be open or closed. It will change connections and relationships, and it will put you in a position for either breakthrough or unnecessary pain. You should not go into a storm that you were not meant to face. I don't want you to get involved with things that will slow you down or drain you. I don't want you to waste years on paths that aren't right for you. I don't want you to mistake the comfort of a coworker for wisdom, fear for insight, or loneliness for divine guidance. I believe that, Lord, your ways are better if you've picked trust over fear. When you stand at this gate, my child, it may look simple, but it holds great power. The next step is not a small one, not by chance. It has an effect that spreads. So, I can't let you move without first talking to you. I'm cutting you off not to scare you, but to keep you safe, not to hold you up, but to put you in the right place. When I call your name, it's not to scare you, but to wake you up. I come into your day not to add stress, but to take away the things that you can't keep carrying into the next season. I know how stressed out you've been. I know how hard it was for you to make choices when you didn't feel grounded. I remember how many times you felt alone, even when I was holding you. I know that you've been trying to look strong, even though you're really scared and weak inside. I know how many times you told me you were okay when your soul was really telling you to rest. I know how tough it's been for you to stay afloat. I know how heavy your load is, how hard it is on your heart, and how tired you feel. I also know that you are very close to making a choice based on pain instead of clarity. That's why I'm here. Not after. Not right now. Not until you do the next thing. Right now. Now this minute is holy. This minute is for safety. To align, this minute is up. This minute is heaven reaching into time to make sure you don't do something before you know what you need to know. Hold on, kid. You're with me. Let my voice clear up your mess. Let the tone of my voice calm you down. Let me be there to stop your heart from shaking. You will know what to do next, based on what I tell you in the full message. Your next steps will also determine your life. This hook isn't going to you because you're weak. It's coming to you because you were chosen. Your fate is too important to risk, so you are being stopped. You are being pushed into stillness, because what comes next needs to be handled with divine clarity, not with your own thoughts. I'm getting you ready. I am looking out for you. I'm putting you in place. Please know that every seed you plant in this mission grows into a torch that shines in someone else's darkness. Whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our community, does not go to a channel. Your actions are supporting a divine mission to save lost souls. But more than your support, we want your presence. When you head to our community through the link in the description or the pinned comment, you aren't just visiting a site. You are entering a community of like-minded believers. This is a sanctuary where you can post your prayer requests, lift up the burdens of others, and engage in daily discussions with a family that speaks the language of faith. Whether you are joining one of our membership tiers for deeper study, sowing a seed of faith, or simply joining our daily morning prayers, you are helping us build a global altar of worship. Heaven moves through willing voices, but it grows through a community that stands together. Each gift you give acts as living water for those in our community seeking healing and hope. Give, and it will be given to you, is the promise that sustains our shared mission. I invite you now to step out of the shadows and into this circle of prayer. Come with purpose, join the conversation, and plant your seed in fertile ground. Let's open the heavens together. Release your seed today, join our community, and see what God brings back into your life. Now, before you take another step, I need to tell you something important that will change the way you walk tomorrow. Dear child, I want to stop you right now, in this very breath and this very second of your life, because heaven has planned to cross your path. There is no accident that led to this pause. This interruption from God was made by me. There is a lot going on around you and inside you, and you have been moving forward without being clear. I am pulling you away from all of that. I'm calling your name quickly because you were about to take another step without listening to what I have to say. That step would have been heavy for you, and you're not ready to handle it. I'm here in front of you because I love you too much to let you walk into a moment that needs divine awareness without knowing what's going on. I know that your thoughts have been going very quickly. I understand how hard it has been for you to keep everything together. But pay attention. I have to cut you off because something holy is happening around you, and the next breath you take must not be in fear, confusion, or exhaustion. I've been calling to you softly for days, nudging your spirit and stirring something deep inside you that you couldn't put your finger on. At first, you didn't feel me. The weight you felt for no reason, the sudden silence, and the feeling that something was shifting, those were all signs that I was getting the atmosphere ready around you. I put a holy pause in your heart at that moment. You thought you were just tired, sad, and unsure, but my child, it was my spirit trying to get your attention. I slowed you down so that you wouldn't move on to the next thing without hearing my voice. When I talk over you, I always have a reason. When I stop you, it's never to make you wait. It's always because heaven sees something coming that you can't see yet, and I need to get your spirit ready for it. I need you to understand how important what's going on now is. This is not a normal time. This isn't just a thought or a whisper of comfort. It looks like God has stepped in. Because the path in front of you is changing, heaven is leaning in. I can't let you go into it with the same thoughts, fears, or wounds that have been with you up until now. You are too big for the season that is over, but you aren't strong enough for the season that is coming up yet. In order to close the gap between where you are and where I am leading you, I have to cut you off. You were about to move too quickly, too quietly, or too blindly. You thought you were making progress, but you were actually stepping toward pain that you didn't need to be in. I am stopping you now, though in a gentle but firm way, because I love you so much that I won't let you go without divine guidance. My child, you need to understand how important this moment is. This is not meant to scare you. It's my job to wake you up. Your life has been moving slowly, with habits, feelings, and choices taking shape without you being aware of it. You were about to enter a moment that would be shaped by these things instead of my advice. What you were about to do would affect the next season. You were letting your feelings, your tiredness, or your assumptions guide you. I can see the spiritual terrain ahead of you, even though you feel strong enough to move forward. I see the enemy's hidden traps, the distractions ready to steal your attention, the sneaky lies that look like chances, and the relationships or decisions that seem harmless but will drain you, divert your attention, or take you off track. My interruption keeps me safe. You need to take a moment, because I'm going to move you emotionally, spiritually, mentally, and even physically. In some parts of your heart, you've been running on empty. You've been trying to keep going with strength you didn't have. You've been making decisions based on how to stay alive, not on what you want to achieve. And I can't let the child I love build a life based on being tired. There's been quiet pain in your heart. It seems like you've been carrying a heavy weight and being alone in your thoughts. You tried to keep going, but something inside you kept telling you to stop, get clear, or find some kind of sign that you are not walking alone. I was that whisper. And this break is my answer to that whisper. My child, I see you. I can see the rapidly running thoughts you tried to block out. I can see the times when you were surrounded by people but didn't feel seen. I can see the questions you have in your mind but don't say out loud because you don't want to sound weak or lost. I remember the nights you stayed up wondering if you were making the right choices, if you got my words wrong, and whether you should go back or forward. I can see how badly you wanted clarity. Your spirit was crying out for help even when you tried to tell yourself everything was fine. This is why I had to cut you off. That's why heaven had to open up right now for you. Now that you see me, you can't move because your heart needs to hear me clearly before it can move again. Your life has a weight on it that you don't fully understand. Things that will happen in the months and years to come are linked to the choices you make now. Your future is written down by the people you let into your life, the changes you make, the chances you take or don't take, the words you speak and the habits you keep. The enemy also knows this. That's why he's been whispering things around you that make you confused, scared, worried, and distracted. He wants you to take your next step based on stress instead of peace. He wants you to decide before you hear my voice, which is too soon. He wants you to think about what you know instead of asking me for help. His plan is for you to jump into something before you are spiritually ready for it. But I'm not going to let that happen. Not for you, my love. Not for the one I've carried through storms you didn't even notice coming together. Not for the person I kept safe from battles that were meant to kill you. Not for the person whose tears I got it when you thought no one was interested. Not for the person whose heart I held onto you even when you felt far away. I care about you too much to let you go into the next chapter without my voice here to hold you down. That's it. I'm ending this. I'm putting my hand on your spirit to calm it down. I am getting rid of the noise around you. I'm putting an end to your doubts. I'm taking away the stress you're feeling. You are being pulled out of autopilot because you can't do what I have planned if you are confused. And you won't be able to hear my instructions if you press on your own. This break is not a punishment. It is in line. It keeps you safe. It's getting ready. It's love. I was asked to give you signs. You have asked me for help. You asked me to be clear. You thought I was quiet. But the answer you were looking for is right now, right here. I'm slowing you down because the next step you take will determine how your season goes. Now I can talk to you because your heart has finally opened up enough to hear me. I have to cut you off because heaven is moving things around you, getting ready for something you don't know about yet. I need you to take a moment to receive what your spirit has been asking for. Feel the weight of my presence on you now, my child. This is not something you made up. This is not a mistake. As I speak, I will stop you, cover you, and pull you into the quiet. For the next part to happen, you need to be spiritually stable, emotionally aware, and deeply connected to me. You can only make that happen if I let me talk now. Come stay with me here in this quiet. Allow the truth that this moment is holy to enter your heart. Do not fight this pause. Do not move too quickly. Do not give in to fear. I'm not going to bother you. During my pause, you are safe. Just one breath away, you'll hear the words that will change what you do next. You are going too fast, my child. I love you too much to let you walk without my voice leading the way. Now that I've stopped you, I have to tell you the truth about what you've been through, because you went through too many battles in silence. They were hidden by deep breaths, tired smiles, and the strength you pushed into your bones, even though your heart wanted to break. There were times when I saw you cry and no one else was around. When you felt like you didn't have the right to show how you felt, I saw it hurt your eyes. I saw how you would act fine around other people because you were afraid they wouldn't understand, or because you didn't want to be a bother to anyone. It looked like you wiped your tears away before they could fall, because you were telling yourself that you had to be strong. And I was there, holding your heart while it shook from the weight of everything you never said out loud, and shedding every tear in honor of every emotion you hid. You've been through storms that shook your soul to its core. You've been through heartbreaks that hurt you more than you let anyone know. You've been hurt by disappointments that stuck with you long after other people forgot about them. You were the one who stayed up all night, going over conversations, doubting your worth, and wondering what you should have done. You may have wondered why some people treated you the way they did, and why the love you freely gave wasn't always returned with the same pure love. You hid these wounds behind your strength. I saw them. I could feel them. I stood with you through every quiet pain. Sometimes you cried into your pillow so no one could hear you. There were times when you sat in the dark and tried to breathe through pain that you couldn't put into words. Times when the weight in your chest made it hard to speak because you didn't know what to pray for. I heard every prayer that wasn't said. I got every word you tried to say but couldn't. Come on, Jesus. If you felt safe when you were with him, you are my safe place. Everyone saw how hard you worked, but I saw how much you cared. My child, I saw how angry you were but didn't know how to let out. I saw the painful memories you tried to hide. I saw the betrayal that hurt you so badly that you started to doubt your own gut feelings. Even though you were in the middle of a crowd, I could feel how lonely you were. I saw how much you wanted something. The need to be heard, understood, valued, and held gently. You were strong for everyone, but no one could tell when you were about to break. I saw how tired your soul got. I don't think any of this is wrong with you. I don't shake my head when I see how hard things are for you. It makes me feel sorry for you, because I know the fights you had inside were not small. They were mountains that looked like thoughts. They were storms that looked like, I'm fine. It was a battle of the mind and spirit that only I could see. There were times when everything seemed to break down all at once. When people you trusted let you down. When doors you thought belonged to you shut on their own without any warning. When relationships changed quickly and you didn't know what went wrong. When you prayed and thought the whole world was quiet. When you asked for help but didn't feel like anyone saw you. It was when you tried to get above your pain but only fell deeper into it. While you were about to give up, something inside you told you to keep going. I was that thing. When you didn't know I was there, I was the strength that was hiding behind your weakness. I was the whisper that kept you standing, the quiet force that kept your heart beating even though it hurt. You've been through valleys that would have crushed other people. You got through seasons that were meant to break you down. It was never meant for you, to carry the weights by yourself. I was right there with you, holding you when you felt like you were going to break, guiding you through the chaos, protecting you in battles that would have killed you if I hadn't stepped in, and comforting you in ways you didn't know. Those times when you felt peaceful, when you should have been drowning, were during my time. I was the one who gave you the strength to get out of bed on days when you felt like you had nothing left to give. When a small spark of hope showed up in your heart after crying all night, that was me. I was there for you when you pushed through pain you didn't think you could handle. I need you to hear me clearly, my love. It's not weak of you to cry. It's not weak of you to break. It's not weak that you're tired. It's not weak to ask for help. You're not weak if you sometimes feel lost. You are a person, and the battles you fought were not easy, light, or unimportant. There were many layers to them, and they were deeply linked to hurts from your past that have changed how you see yourself, how you love, trust, and keep your heart safe. You still carry some things because you were never given the chance to heal them. You still have fears because you learned to expect pain instead of stability. There are worries that grew slowly because you had to handle too many things by yourself. But I didn't turn away. I saw it all. You felt like other people had left you, but I never did. You thought no one was seeing you, but I never took my eyes off of you. When you cried alone, you felt like no one heard you, but I heard every whisper. You felt like I didn't get what you were saying, but I knew every thought, fear, and desire. I saw you fight for peace while chaos went around you. I saw you smile for other people even though you were sad inside. I saw you hope again after being hurt, only to be hurt again. Still, I saw you trying to love, give, and have faith. Do you understand how important that is to me? Do you know how much my heart leaned toward you every time you tried to get up after being knocked down by life? Some people don't even know what you went through, but you did. And you didn't make it through because you were strong. I held you down the whole time. You went through times when you were emotionally worn out. You were hurt by voices that spoke carelessly over your spirit. You felt the pain of being turned down when you needed comfort. You knew what it was like when someone promised to stay but then left. You were in silent pain as you saw other people get the grace you wanted. You felt bad about things that were never your fault. You blamed yourself for things that happened because other people were broken. When the people who let you down were never able to give you what your heart desired, you began to doubt your worth. It was hard for you to carry the weight by yourself because you thought no one would understand. I got it, though. I always did. Your spirit got tired because you fought battles alone, my child. In public, you were strong, but on the inside, you were giving up. Even though your heart was telling you to stop, you did. You pushed your pain down because you didn't think anyone could hear it. You believed you had to deal with all of it and make it through it all. You were never meant to handle all of that by yourself, though. I could feel your tears every time you tried to hold them back. I could see your sadness every time you tried to hide it. I knew the truth every time you tried to hide your pain and act like everything was fine. I cared about it, and I want you to know that. I was there when you broke down, when you prayed quietly, when you cried quietly, when you asked questions at night, and when you were tired during the day. I saw you try even though you were sad. I saw you love even when other people didn't love you back. I saw you trusting even after being lied to. I saw you forget about the hurt even though it was still fresh. I saw you giving up things, hoping, praying, and waiting. You never really were alone, even though it felt like it at times. You made it through because I was with you through every valley, every heartbreak, and every disappointment. I never let your spirit fall completely. I will never let your sadness fill your heart. Even though the enemy tried many times, I never let him destroy you. I was there protecting you and whispering words of strength into your soul to heal parts of your heart you didn't even know were hurt. My child, everything you went through in silence, I saw it all, and now I'm here to carry the weight of those battles that were never said. As this awakening grows inside you, know that helping with this mission is not a joke. It is a sign from God. You can support this work through the link in the description or the pinned comment, whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our Ko-Fi community. By doing so, you become part of Jesus' plan to save souls who are still stuck in fog. Every seed turns into light that fights against darkness. If you water others, you will be watered yourself, Jesus says. This is not history, it is a living promise about your future. Come into this moment with faith and a plan. What God has already planned for your life can be unlocked through your giving. You never fought by yourself. No one ever forgot to see you cry. You were never breaking without me being there to pick up the pieces. I saw you make it through, and now I'll help you get better. You've been carrying the weight for too long. Now let me carry you. My child, now that I've told you about the fights you fought alone, there is something much more sinister going on here than what you can see. It's the enemy's plan to hurt you. You've often put the weight of your feelings on yourself, your past, your emotions, or even the things that happened to you. But there were forces at work that you couldn't see. As soon as you were made, the enemy began to study you. He knows what your strengths and weaknesses are, what your hopes and fears are, what you want and what hurts you. You have made him feel threatened because of what I put inside you, the power you have, and the anointing that is on you. Even when you thought you were not good enough or strong enough, he saw what you could become. He saw the light inside you, the calling that came with your name and your fate. He was set on stopping you before you could figure out who you really are after I wrote with my own hands. You couldn't figure out why the fights in your life were so intense, why some seasons felt heavier than others, and why people were attacking you in ways that felt personal. For me, it was about my child. Your mistakes were not being fought by the enemy. He was against your goal. He wasn't going after you because you were weak. He was going after you because you were picked. He didn't just want to ruin your happiness. He tried to turn down the light I gave you. Every delay, every distraction, every moment of fear, and every wave of exhaustion that made you feel helpless were all part of a plan to stop your destiny. Now I'm going to show it to you, so you don't walk around without knowing that a war is going on around you. One of the first things the enemy did to hurt you, my child, was to wait. He put off what I had planned for you, so that you would start to doubt yourself, your prayers, your worth, and even me. He knew that your hope would fade if he could make time go on for too long. He put things in the way that made you wait longer than you should have. There were missed chances. There were doors that should have opened but stayed closed. The people who were supposed to help you turned their backs on you. The enemy whispered in your ear, telling you that you were forgotten, that your prayers were turned down, and that maybe you didn't hear me right. Promises that were supposed to come true in one season were pushed to the next. But these delays did not mean that they had given up. They showed that the enemy was scared of what would happen if you kept going. He wanted you to stop feeling like your calling was so important and settle for less. He wanted you to think that maybe your dreams were too big. But even with these delays, I kept you going. He also used distraction as a weapon against you. He put people and things in your way that took your attention away from what was really important. He made a lot of noise around you so that my voice would sound far away. He weighed you down with silly worries, duties that tired you out, and emotional ties that kept you from focusing on what I told you in my whisper. He tried to hide your calling behind work. He thought that if he made your mind too busy, you would forget the dreams I gave you. At times, you felt like you weren't connected to me, not because I pulled away, but because other things were bothering you. Your heart felt too full to pray, too tired to believe, and too numb to worship at times. That wasn't because your faith was weak. It was a war. So that your spirit would get tired, the enemy made storms in your mind. I was still protecting your heart from what could have killed it, though. The enemy also used other people to hurt you, give up on you, and change how you saw yourself. He sent you people who were jealous, mean, manipulative, or emotionally unstable to drain your spirit. Some people said things to you that made you feel unsafe. Someone betrayed you, which made you doubt your worth. You thought you were unlovable because someone left you. People judged you without knowing what you were going through. Some of what they said seemed true to you, but they were just lies meant to make you doubt them. But pay attention, kid. Their actions never showed how valuable you were. They were dark tools made to keep you from rising. People who hurt you were used by the enemy to shut you down emotionally, make you afraid of love, make you hesitant to trust again, and keep you from talking to other people. To believe that relationships hurt, that being open can lead to heartbreak, and that love is a risk that will always leave you empty. But I saw how what they did hurt you, and I've been fixing the damage they did. Fear was another thing that was used against you. Fear followed you into places where you should have felt safe. In the night, fear told lies. That you were not good enough, that you would fail, that people would not like you, and that you would lose everything if you tried. When you thought about taking steps toward your destiny, fear made your heart shake. You slowed down when you were supposed to fly because you were afraid. Fear made you keep quiet, shut down your dreams, stretch your gifts, and hide who you really are. Fear tried to get you to believe that your past determined your future. You were afraid, which made you wonder if you deserved the good things I promised you. There was fear instead of faith. But every time fear got loud, I was still there, telling you who you are through me. The enemy also used being worn out. Not just tiredness in the body, but also tiredness in the mind and spirit. His battles that never seemed to end drained your strength. He put heavy things on your spirit I never told you to carry. He let your sadness weigh on you until it made your heart hurt. It hurt you so much that you couldn't even hope for better. He made you remember old mistakes, pain, and wounds. He knew that if he could wear you down enough, you would give up, stop believing, and stop hoping for good things to happen. You would then live your life mechanically instead of spiritually. But even when you felt like your spirit was empty, I put strength around you that you didn't know about. Every time you wanted to quit but didn't, it was because I stood by you. Say amen. If he brought you happiness when you were sad, you made me feel better. Share this video too. You are about to enter your divine future, but remember, this breakthrough is not for you alone. Your testimony is the bridge someone else will use to reach their own miracle. Archangel Michael is inviting you to visit community through the link in the description or the pinned comment. Whether by